Skateboarding takes center stage here at X Games Osaka 2025 as we come to you live from inside the Kyocera Dome. It's now time for Women's Skateboard Park. Well, it's happening in World Grande alongside one of the most influential women in skateboard history, Amelia Brodka. And Amelia, simply put, there is unprecedented history at stake for 15-year-old Arissa True here in Skateboard Park.
Arissa is seemingly unstoppable. She has won so many golds, not only in this event, but even last night in the vert competition. And, you know, perhaps Sky can challenge her, but typically what we've seen is Arissa just challenges herself and outdoes herself with every run.
A gold medal last night in vert put her in a tie with Leticia Buffoni's record of 6 women's skateboard gold medals. She can break that tie here today in Osaka. It was a beautiful look at our park course here at X Games Osaka. And our young ladies have lined up a new format here in 2025 in Osaka. Razor thin margin for error here between our playoffs and final.
I love seeing Sakura Yosuzumi back in the mix here. You know, she had a rough couple years with a knee injury and kind of a slow recovery, but in the last World Skate Contest, she looked like she was back on top form, as did Kokona Hirake. And we have not seen Sky Brown in a competition since the Paris Olympics, where she had a hurt shoulder. So I'm very curious to see what she has been working on.
Yes, Sky Brown, this is an event we have seen her win twice before. She's got 3 X Games medals total, but we did not see her in Ventura last summer. And between that time, Arissa True has just come out like an absolute tornado winning machine. But a look at our storylines beyond that rivalry, Japan versus the world, some of the most talented skateboarders on the planet residing here in the country of Japan, well represented here in Women's Skateboard Park. 8 skateboarders, that format I was talking about. We begin with playoffs, best of 2 runs. Just the top 4 advancing to the final, where they'd get 2 runs each, and that best single score counts.
It kind of puts everybody into a position where they have to immediately pull out a run that could be a podium contender and make it first try. Otherwise, they put themselves in a pretty compromising position to not even be able to get through to the final.
So Arissa True looking to go double gold for the 3rd consecutive X Games. The only other person to do that, Dave Mirra, the greatest of all time on 2 wheels. So uncharted territory for the 15-year-old Arissa True here today in Women's Skateboard Park. So without further ado, we kick things off. Sakura Yosuzumi. She won this event in 2022 back at X Games Chiba. Good to see her out here kicking things off, Amelia.
All right, starting over the gap, right into a heel flip Indy. She got the memo. She's got to put down a heavy run, doing the alley-oop judo, working her way across the park. And the way that she does her backside ollies is something to really admire, because the board stays so intact on her feet without her needing to grab. It almost looks like AI, honestly. And then there's the 360 version of that, going to fakie, turning back around. So definitely, you know, doing something that the judges really like, which is using the whole course and then going up to Smith on that ledge. That's definitely going to score her some major points. That is a great first run for Sakura.
Sakura has never finished below 4th place at X Games. She finished 4th in Chiba last summer, but before that, it was all podiums, besides another 4th place finish back in Minneapolis in 2019. Consistency always key for Yosizumi.
Yeah, I would say last year's 4th was just due to her coming back from that knee injury. It seemed like it really took her a while to get her confidence back and get all her tricks dialed again. But yeah, she is looking as strong as she did when she won the first Olympics back in Tokyo 2020.
Yeah, remember there was a brief couple-year period before Arisa got going, and when we weren't seeing Sky at some events. I mean, Sakaru was synonymous with gold medal performances in this discipline. Good to see her finally healthy and skating on this X Games stage. Here now, Bryce Wettstein, who was able to put the ukulele down and grab her skateboard here for run number 1.
Wow, that was wild. Looked like she almost lost her line there, but you know, she is a champion at improvising, and her runs are, you know, always surprising, probably even to her. But this one is looking like it's timed really well. Great use of the course so far with the body varial disaster on the extension. And a super fun fact, she's been coached by Willie Santos, who was a bronze medalist at Skateboard Street 30 years ago in 1995.
And of course, we're celebrating 30 years of X Games here in 2025. Classic Bryce quote, love this, on her unique approach to park skateboarding. I love the challenge of putting together a park run because it's a chance to be unique, be myself. Like you sort of want to check the boxes, but you don't have to do exact check marks. You can kind of scribble all over the boxes. I'm having so much fun with it.
And there's Willie right there, cheering her on. She is hyped. Gotta love Bryce. She just puts a smile on everyone's face wherever she goes.
So we move on to Yurine Fuji. She earned a bronze medal in this event in Chiba back in 2023.
Also put out a rad part for OJ Wheels recently. Definitely check it out. She is a really talented skateboarder, and unfortunately, most of us have experienced that fall right there. The trick you're not thinking about, the 50-50, which just takes you from point A to point B. She was probably already thinking about the next wall and just missed that front truck lock-in. She will have one more crack at the finals.
Yurine, also a very strong surfer, and you see that surf style play out in her skateboarding on any park course she hits. Hinano Kusaki, owner of one X Games silver medal that she earned here at Vert last year, in Ventura in park.
Also known as the Demoness because she skates just like she's possessed with so much power. And has a great 540 like that one right there, spinning right out of camera frame. Nice lean the tail on the extension, rock and roll slide through the corner. Nice Smith grind. I love the way that she can keep her speed through the course and links it so well. And there's a back 3. This is shaping up to be a really good run from Hinano. And the back boneless. Wow. I love that she used that part of the course. You know, that's going to get her some points. I mean, the only thing that she could have fixed was, you know, maybe holding off on the celebration, because sometimes the judges don't like that. But honestly, there were just a couple seconds left on the clock. I would have celebrated too if I just back boneless the big old extension. But wow, that run had so much to appreciate. The back 3, the 540, the back boneless. He used the vert extension as well. Let's see what the judges think.
Yeah, she talks about the 80s vibes in her trick selection. On display there, an 85.66 for Hinano, who takes over first place.
Sounds like might be a safe score to move her into the finals.
Again, the top 4 will be moving on to the finals. Here now, Lily Erickson, We saw her in Ventura last year, and of course Chiba, still in search of that first podium finish. Can she get into the top 4?
Not only does she do amazing stale fishes in the park, but she's also a spear fisher woman, which is just wild. But I'd like to think that has something to do with how beautiful her stale fish is.
The spear fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Last 10 seconds for Lily.
This is a really strong run. Oh, just flipping. It flicked a little too hard on that kickflip Indy, so kind of spun a bit too fast for her to grab it. But I love the blunt fakie on the vert extension.
Yeah.
You're not going to see anyone else in this field do that, because
She grew up skating the park at Proper Ride Shop in Honolulu, owned by Himano Reynolds family, sponsored by Proper. 66.33.
Definitely will get a much higher score if she gets that kickflip Indy down.
Kokona Haraki. She won this event in 2023 in Chiba. Still just 16 years old, making her 7th X Games appearance, Amelia.
I love that backside nose grind. No one else does it in this field like Kokona. I mean, transferring from one side to the other, starting your run like that, it's just such a wonderful trick, and she's got it so dialed. The judges are going to love that. Nice backside crail slide. Oh, and ollieing off of that offset wall right there. Stalefish disaster. Her trick selection is really, really unique. Oh, and the front 50 on the ledge, ollieing back in. Super strong run for Kokona. That's going to be knocking on Hinano's door for sure.
Doesn't feel that long ago, Amelia, that an 11-year-old Kokona Haraki came onto the X Games stage back in 2019 in Minneapolis in her first X Games ever, earning silver. And look at her now.
I remember skating with her in the Vans Park Series, and man, was she good at snaking people. And all of us just looked at each other and we were like, who is this little girl dropping in on everyone? And then she would do a nose grind right in front of us, and we'd be like, oh, it's okay. That was a beautiful nose grind.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah, or grind.
But next time.
Yeah.
So a great score, 84 on the top, puts her up into 2nd place. But now Sky Brown making her return to the X Games stage. As we said, we didn't see her in Ventura last summer. She took silver in Chiba last year.
Such a powerful skater. I mean, her style is really admirable, and the way that she kind of uses that power to traverse the park and puts it into the way that she tweaks all of her airs and pokes out that invert, it just looks so good. Nice front 50 over the love seat there. The way that she does that 360, sometimes she kind of turns it into more of a backflip, but that is super unique. I think we've seen Haley from last year kind of get inspired by that version of a front 3, but you know, we've never seen anyone in this field do it like that until Sky showed up on the scene.
Sky says she's enjoying her new competitive rivalry with Arissa True. Arissa, I can't believe it. She's incredible. I'm just so stoked to skate with her and compete against her. She's on another level. But it really does seem like when these two are skating in a contest, they bring out the best in one another. Arissa True earning gold in vert yesterday here at X Games Osaka, and certainly a heavy favorite to defend gold here in Park.
Nice McTwist. Gapping over to front lip slide. Taking her foot off on the judo frontside Smith grind. Love the way she kicks her foot off fully on that Madonna on the extension. Oh, and then going switch over the box. And then switch backside air. That's the other thing that's unique about Arissa. Her ability to skate switch is really impressive. And then going for the cab, frontside nose slide. Oh, wait a minute,
come on.
what?
Buzzer beater for Arissa True.
Okay, I did not anticipate her 180ing out of that. I mean, it might be counted as a fall because she stepped off onto the deck, but the fact that she was able to pull herself back in off that offset ledge, 180, and then hang on for dear life, that was fun to watch. Great recovery. Might count as a fall, but
she's trying to make it
Look
4 in a row in Women's Park. That is insane. So a 74.66. Yeah, you called it. So good enough for 4th. Again, top 4 moving on to the final. But we know Arissa has a lot more in the bag.
Oh, you know, I don't think I've ever seen her look nervous. She had a little nervous glint in her eye, which is surprising. But, you know, if anything, she is good under pressure.
In the last year, she's won 7 of the 9 park contests that she's entered, including both X Games Ventura and Chiba last year. This is history making at a clip the likes of which we've never seen in women's skateboard park. Arissa True trying to go double gold once again. Can she earn that 7th career gold medal? Time will tell. Sakaru sitting in 3rd place after a really solid first run and then goes down right away, Amelia.
Honestly, I think she did the run that she wanted, at least for the playoffs, in her first try. I mean, it would have been nice to give herself room for an upgrade, but that score could stand in the top 4. I would be surprised, actually, if she were to be knocked off the finals.
So Bryce Wetstein currently on the outside looking in, sitting in 5th place.
Starting with that lean tail slide, also has a beautiful backside ollie, a lot of pop in that. Love the way that she tweaks that. And then she's the only one going Madonna disaster. I cannot express how difficult that is. You're taking off your front foot, the very foot that will prevent you from hanging up on the coping and falling straight to flat. That is such a cool trick. I am bummed that we did not get to see the rest of that run, but the Madonna disaster was great. Thank you, Bryce.
A skateboarder, a surfer, a singer, a pianist, a guitarist, a ukuleleist. Is that proper verbiage? A songwriter, a college student. Bryce Wetstein does it all, and she's some of the best representation of any athlete here at X Games. I'm always stoked when she makes it out to events. So here's Ureen, who went down early on her first run. We'd love to see her knock on those finals door because we know she has the talent to do it. Here's Ureen.
Huge 360 to start. Oh no, just not quite clearing that love seat on the front side grind. Maybe she's stuck on the coping. Maybe she didn't think she would take the grind the full way across and had to bail. But you know, that just kind of goes to show you how brutal this format is. I mean, Bryce missing her 2nd run, Ureen missing both runs. You know, very talented skaters that definitely have finals potential, but they've only got 2 tries.
So here's our current leader, Hinanu Kusaki. She's got to be feeling really good about her chances to get in the final saran wrap there. That was rad.
Huge 540, grabbing Melon. Oh, and the front feeble through the corner. Looked like she was on the very tip of her tail on that lean to tail, but made it work. Smith grinding all the way through the deep end. Loving the line, how she makes her way across the park with so much power and speed and height in that backside air as well. Maybe going for a back boneless again, maybe varioing into it. Not sure, but she will have to keep that first run scored.
Japan well represented right now in our top 4, currently holding those top 3 spots. Hinano will hold on to her first run score. Kokona right behind her, and Sakura in the top 3. So here's Lily Erickson from Oahu, still just 15 years old.
Says she looked up to local Hunter Long, also an X Games athlete, skateboarder in Oahu, and definitely learned a few things from her, because that gap lip slide definitely reminds me of Hunter. Nice blunt fakie on that skinny vert extension into the half cap blunt fakie. That combination has served her well in many competitions. So rad to see. Doing the L twist as well. And here it is, the kickflip Indy. Oh, I thought she had it. So tough with this format, Brando. It's brutal. A great competition skater. We've seen her on many exposure podiums as well. She took the win 2 years ago. She got silver right behind Arissa last year.
She's also a very strong vert skater, but she will not be moving on to the final. So here's Kokona Hiraki, who is safe. She's in second. There's only one skater left who can potentially knock out that 4th and final spot, which is currently held by Arissa True, so she'll have final say. But Sky Brown is still on the outside looking in, so this is really just practice for the final from Kokona.
I'm loving that gap to back lip off of the love seat onto the extension. She's got, once again, she's got such a great bag of tricks. A real skater's favorite skater. And, you know, just coming off on that front stalefish disaster, also a really cool trick. Did it in the last run. I'm sure she'll put it into her finals run, but that back nose grind going the distance. And walling off of that offset extension right there. She is looking pleased with herself, knowing that she's going to be moving on to the finals.
So we talked about that battle at the beginning between Arissa and Sky that we've seen a number of times in this discipline. Right now, Sky's going to need something big to get up into the top 4. And even if she does that, Amelia, Arissa True will have final say, as she'll be the final one to drop in. But here's Sky Brown trying to get into the top 4.
Looking really strong. That first hit, the 270 transfer, is such a great way to start. Pumping through the deep end, poking her foot out on that invert. Getting the crail through the corner.
Trying to pick that speed back up.
It's where she fell last time.
Love
she makes it, just hangs on. And I'm not sure what happened on the wall after that. It was a little bit of a truck bash, but you could tell here she was just fighting to stay on. She landed crazy off the front 3 and then tried to get her composure back for a 540 over the hit, but landed pretty low and just kind of got pitched.
Remember, last year in Chiba, she was in first place until the very last run of the contest when Arissa True took the walk-off gold. And unfortunately, I don't think she'll even get an opportunity to get in a position like that, as she would need that 74.67 to jump up into the top 4. Arisa clinging to that 4th and final spot. Of course, she has 1 run left as well. So a 74 for Sky Brown. She moves up into 5th, but not enough to get into the final.
Yeah, that's very surprising, but you know, that's the thing about park skating. Every park that you get to is going to be completely different. You have to adapt all of your tricks to it while maintaining your speed. And you know, sometimes a park just doesn't match your trick selection, or you've not had enough time in it in order to adapt. But Arisa certainly adapting very well, especially coming off of a vert podium last night. I mean, to be able to change your timing to go from vert to park is so impressive. Little deck check on the switch air over the box, but the switch backside air looking great. This run is so far a little bit cleaner than her last, but very similar. Oh, and there it is. There's the nose blunt going back in 180 and did not take her foot off that time. And this is classic Arisa. She will be in a position in which she is safe and then still outdo herself, because that's kind of her style.
What a competitor. And remember, she's already earned a spot into the final, but we're also talking about positioning. It is nice to be the last person to drop in a final, to have final say on what can happen. As it currently stands right now, she would be the first to drop in the final, that she's in 4th. But you got to believe this score will bump her up, and it does. An 82.66 puts her up into 3rd.
So I'm assuming that perhaps the judges did not like the fact that she didn't clear the box completely when she did the switch air over it, even though she's the only one going switch. Because with park skating, you want to keep your speed and your power flowing through the park, and clearly that is what the judges are looking for.
Sakura Yosizumi getting into the final. She was sitting on that 4th spot. Arisa True jumping up 1 spot into 3rd. She's on a quest to go double gold here at X Games Osaka. Kokona Haraki qualifying 2nd overall, owner of 4 X Games medals. Can she add a 2nd career gold here today? And our top-ranked qualifier, 17-year-old Hinano Kusaki. All 4 primed for an incredible final coming up here in Osaka.
X Games is the place to be.
Welcome to the party.
Oh my goodness, Kobe Raha. Oh!
Arisa True.
Kevin Terraza.
Is Nigel Houston about to make history? The answer is yes.
Shout out X Games. We love y'all.
We welcome you back to inside the Kyocera Dome, as it's now time for the women's skateboard park final. 4 of the best on the planet have invaded Osaka, Japan for a chance at X Games Gold. Brandon Graham and Amelia Brodka coming to you from X Games Osaka 2025. And no surprise here, partner, 3 of the 4 in our final hail from Japan.
Definitely not surprising, but what a show they're putting on so far. And it's very surprising to not see Sky in this finals. But with this new format, it's pretty cutthroat.
It's Arisa True versus Japan, literally. Arisa True already tying the all-time women's skateboard gold medal mark with Leticia Buffoni. She did it last night in vert. Now she's trying to break that tie, earn a 7th gold, and also go double gold for the 3rd consecutive year. there is a look at our roster. We're gonna be talking a lot about that history this evening for Arissa True because she's been that dominant.
I think she will be challenged by this field, though. I mean, Hinano Kusaki's bringing a level of power to this park that perhaps the judges haven't felt like they've seen from Arissa, because right now, Arissa is not the top-ranked qualifier, which is something that she is used to.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, we had the playoffs right before this, and you saw a level of comfort and confidence from both Hinano and Kokona, who qualified first and second overall for this final on this course. And as you said, during the elimination in the playoffs, maybe there was a little bit of nerves at stake for Arissa True. Obviously got into the top 4, but we're so accustomed to her being a top-ranked qualifier. But all that changes here as the finals kick off. Sakura Yosizumi.
Loving that heel flip Indy. She alley-ooped it a little bit. And I'll say it again, she is looking strong. She is looking like the Olympic gold medalist we have seen her become in Tokyo, the first ever women's park gold medal. And putting together a really strong line here. Oh, going for the Ollie 5. So we saw her do a 360 version of that in the playoffs. But it looks like it might be kind of sticky to be able to pull off an Ollie 5, especially if she's planning on kind of reverting the rest of the rotation.
Sakura earned bronze in her X Games debut back in 2018 in Minneapolis. A 4th place finish in 2019, and then we didn't see her for nearly 3 years at X Games before she won gold in Chiba in 2022. But here now, the 15-year-old on a quest for her 7th career X Games gold medal, trying to go double gold here in Osaka, Arissa True.
Already a beautiful 5 thrown down on the park, and another one, but grabbing Melon this time. Doing a roll Smith through the corner and a Madonna on the extension, looking like a more improved version of her playoffs run. And then going for the switch air over the box, kind of coming up short, but then going frontside cab stale. And then front nose grind fakie. This is a rad combination of tricks. And the switch McTwist! Wow, that was an incredible first finals run for Arissa True.
You called it, partner. She had the eye of the tiger on this opening finals run. She said, forget what you saw from me in playoffs. This is the finals, baby.
The stalefish frontside, and then the switch McTwist. We are not seeing anyone else in this field do that, especially not in park.
A 90.33, fitting that Chloe Covell, so dominant on the street side, is the first to embrace Arissa True out here tonight. So that score is massive, Amelia, and the bar has officially been set here in Women's Skateboard Park. Here now, Kokona Haraki.
A totally different approach to park skating by Kokona, taking her nose grind the absolute distance across that gap, and then taking it front side as well. Just such a polished skater, a much more technical approach, more focused on lip tricks than airs, you know, which sometimes the judges prefer. And I love this wally off of that offset wall. And then the stalefish disaster is looking really similar to her playoffs run, but she's a smart competitor, so she certainly knows how to continuously improve. And then taking that frontside 50-50 across that metro skatable train. just such a great way to put a run together. I mean, the thing to appreciate about Coconut is her collection of tricks within a run, and the way that she uses them is like an added trick within itself.
Yeah, she says, I want to be a skater who's cool and has her own style, the kind of skater that everyone can see a photo or video of and say, that's Coconut. She has found that lane, an 82.33, putting her up into that silver medal spot. Remember, this finals format, each of the skaters, they get 2 runs, and we count the single best score.
Brutal, brutal format. But
so here now, our top-ranked qualifier, Amelia Hinano Kusaki.
Also, you know, just called the Demoness at her local park for a reason. She skates with so much power and speed. She is fierce. Huge 540, and then taking the front feeble through the corner. And then the rock and roll slide. You know, each of her tricks is so well executed. And you know, really putting the line together. Oh, wait, was that a 360 saran wrap over the box?
Oh, that was so rad.
That was a super weird angle, so I hope that we get to see that again from a different perspective. But that was certainly an improvement from her playoffs run. I'd love to see what the judges think about it.
Big smile for the 17-year-old Hinano. I mean, just a little bit of everything on that run.
Yes, a 360 saran wrap over the box jump. That is wild. There's so much going on in that trick. You got to take your foot off. You got to twist it around your nose. You got to change up your grabs.
An 85.66 for Hinano, and she jumps up into that silver medal spot. And Marissa True will stay in familiar territory, that being first place. And just like that, run number 2 time.
So the worst that Sakura has ever done at an X Games is 4th. So she's in a good place to not do any worse than that.
Sakura obviously would love to get back on the X Games podium, a place she hasn't been since Ventura in 2022. Would need to best that score of 82.33 by Coconut to jump up into the top 3.
If she can get that Ollie 5 into her run and retain her speed, that could definitely put her into podium contention. Alley-oop judo, moving her way across the park. That backside ollie, there's just so much control in that, which is so impressive when you're not grabbing your board. There it is, the Ollie 5. Oh,
yes.
And she pulls it off.
Okay.
Definitely rad to see. And then she still maintains her speed to be able to smith on the metro and then thrown in a back tail. And a back disaster revert. That's going to be a full pull for Sakura here in the finals.
You love to see it. But as you said, just seeing her clearly healthy, not favoring the knee, not skating with some level of trepidation or caution. She's skating freer than we've seen in a long time here at X Games.
I don't think we've seen the Ollie 5 out of her in a while as well. Wow, and she muscled it around. I mean, her front foot moved all the way to the nose, her back foot not even on the tail. So to be able to stay on, correct her feet, and finish a solid run, super impressive, great recovery.
An 87.66, and that puts her up into the silver medal spot.
Emotion coming out there. It's been too long since we've seen Sakura on the podium, and you know, when she took a break from X Games, she was on every other podium, whether it's the Olympics or the Park Series or all the Olympic qualifiers. She was unbeatable for a while.
So Arissa True, our current leader, has that huge score of 90.33 from run number 1. But there are 2 skaters who will drop in after her, who qualified ahead of her. So what does she do here, Amelia?
Honestly, she does the same run, but just maintains a little bit more power and speed throughout. I think that's gonna keep her in a really safe place. Oh, but there's the improvement right there, throwing in a kickflip Indy. And then the Madonna. So she took out the second 5, replaced it with a kickflip Indy, and still keeping the switch air over the box in there, going right into frontside cap stale. Front nose grind fakie, throwing in the tech lip tricks, and then the switch McTwist.
Yes. Arissa True. She's not next. She is now on her way to going double gold for the 3rd consecutive opportunity, potentially joining the one and only Dave Mira. I just mean, this is, how do you beat this, Amelia?
I mean, it's really interesting to see that she replaced the 5 with a kickflip Indy, and the kickflip Indy is actually a trick that failed her at the last event, the World Skate event. So clearly, she had a little hesitation about putting it into her prior runs, but that is what the judges wanted to see. They wanted to see her flip her board because it gave her 3 additional points.
Arissa's looking, going, what's better than first place? I'll take it. 93.33, trying to lap the field here in the final. So here's Coconut. She's now on the outside looking in. Can she get back onto the podium?
So her last run could have possibly been docked, as it was basically a copy of her playoffs run. So the judges do want to see upgrades between rounds. Let's see what she's got. There it is. There's the backside flip, catching it so well. Very quick feet right there, and then throwing in the Wally and the stalefish disaster. Such a great combination of tricks. And then the frontside 50-50 on the Metro, and she gets it.
What a run from Coconut. The volume of tricks that she was able to put down in that run, crazy.
So we saw that the kickflip Indy massively improved Arissa's score, but Coconut does the kickflip without a grab, which is so much harder. Here it is. Caught it with her back foot and was able to continue with the same amount of speed and power through the rest of her run. The judges are going to reward that.
An 83.66 for Coconut, and she will not be getting on to the X Games podium. So it all comes down to this. Hinano Kasaki is sitting in the bronze medal spot. She is the final skateboarder to drop in here in the women's park final. Can she do enough to potentially knock out Yosizumi or possibly True? Wow.
Huge 540. She's just got so much power. That was an upgrade. Taking a foot off, wrapping it around on that lean to tail variation. And then will she go for the saran wrap 360? Yes, she does, and it was better than the last one.
Yep.
but a couple 50-50s, Brando. I don't know if that's going to help her score. And pops
and
out
leaves
early.
Time on the clock. Oof.
You know,
what a
maybe
showing, but
maybe
it
she
makes you
didn't
think
plan
what
the run
could have been. Yes, you're
beyond.
right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Or maybe went faster than she thought she would. But yeah, that's not going to improve her score, unfortunately. It was great to see the Saran Wrap 3 once again, though.
So we take another look, just boosting.
I mean, that's the thing about park skating is sometimes you're not really sure where you're going to end up, or if you land a little bit differently than you have before. You might be going towards a different wall. And then if you hadn't planned for that, you know, it's going to be really hard to change your run and improvise. Unless you're Bryce, of course, because she's so great at improvising, but.
And with that, it is official. Arissa True going back to back to back to back to back. Double gold here at X Games Osaka. It is now her 7th career gold medal. She now owns more women's skateboard gold medals than anyone in history. And officially ties Fabiola da Silva for most women's medals from a summer discipline. And oh, by the way, she's still just 15 years old.
I believe the only other athlete to do double gold 3 times was Dave Mira.
Dave Mira did it in 1997, 1998, and 1999. Long before Arissa True was ever born. That is hollow ground. Dave Mira is on the Mount Rushmore, and Arissa True just matched it.
And she's got a long career ahead of her still.
You talk about the pressure that she must have been facing to go gold in vert last night and then to back it up and go gold here in park with history on the line. There are no words. What a showing for our entire field. But congratulations to Arissa True, earning her 7th career X Games gold medal.